The Israelites had wandered the wilderness for 40 long years. Moses, their great leader, had died on Mount Nebo, gazing across the Jordan River at the promised land he would never enter. Now Joshua, son of Nun, stood in his place, strong, faithful, and ready. God spoke to him directly. "Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all these people get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give them. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Joshua 1:2-9. The people camped at Shittim, Acacia Grove, on the east bank of the Jordan, hearts pounding with anticipation and fear. Across the river lay Canaan, lush fortified cities, powerful kings, and giants in the land. The first major obstacle was Jericho, a massive walled city guarding the Jordan Valley. Its walls were legendary, thick, high, double-layered in places, with houses built right into them. Conquering Jericho would send a message to all Canaan. Israel's God was moving. Joshua, wise and strategic like Moses, knew better than to charge blindly. He needed intelligence. So, secretly, he selected 2 men, likely young, brave, and discreet, from among the people. "Go," he told them, "view the land, especially Jericho." No fanfare, no large group, just 2 spies to slip across the river, scout the city, assess its defenses, and return with a report. The 2 men crossed the Jordan, perhaps at a shallow ford or under cover of night, and made their way into Jericho. The city buzzed with life, merchants haggling in the markets, guards patrolling the massive gates, families preparing meals in stone houses. Strangers stood out, especially if they looked Hebrew. Different accents, different dress, different bearing. To avoid suspicion, the spies sought lodging in a place where travelers came and went without too many questions: the house of a woman named Rahab. She was a prostitute, her home built right into the city wall with a window overlooking the outside world. In ancient Near Eastern cities, such houses often served as inns or places for discreet meetings. Rahab's home had a flat roof where flax stalks dried in the sun, flax for linen, harvested around that time along with barley. It was a practical spot, close to the gate, easy to enter and exit unnoticed. But word spread fast in a walled city under threat. Someone spotted the 2 strangers entering Rahab's house. Rumors flew. "Israelite spies! They've come to scout our defenses!" The report reached the king of Jericho himself. Alarmed, he sent messengers straight to Rahab. "Bring out the men who came to you and entered your house, because they have come to spy out the whole land." Joshua 2:3. Rahab faced a moment of decision. The king's men were at her door. The spies were inside, perhaps hidden already. She knew the stories everyone in Jericho whispered about, how the God of these Israelites had dried up the Red Sea 40 years earlier, drowning Pharaoh's army, how they had crushed mighty kings like Sihon and Og east of the Jordan, utterly destroying their cities. Fear had gripped Canaan. "Our hearts melted. Everyone's courage failed because of you." Joshua 2:11. Rahab had heard these reports too, and something stirred in her, a conviction deeper than fear. Quickly she acted. She took the 2 spies up to the roof and hid them under the bundles of flax stalks drying there. Then she went down to the door. With calm composure, she lied to the king's men. "Yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they had come from. At dusk, when it was time to close the city gate, they left. I don't know which way they went. Go after them quickly. You may catch up with them." Joshua 2:4-5. The messengers believed her. Why wouldn't they? She sounded convincing, urgent even. They hurried out of the city gates just as they were closing for the night, chasing shadows down the road toward the fords of the Jordan. Meanwhile, Rahab climbed back to the roof. The spies lay still under the flax until she called them out. In the dim light, she spoke words that would echo through Scripture. "I know that the Lord has given you this land, and that a great fear of you has fallen on us. We have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you, and what you did to Sihon and Og. When we heard of it, our hearts melted, for the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below." Joshua 2, 9-11. Here was a Canaanite woman, a prostitute, an outsider, making one of the clearest confessions of faith in the entire Old Testament. She acknowledged Yahweh as supreme, not just a local deity, but the God of heaven and earth. Her faith wasn't blind, it was based on evidence, the mighty acts God had already done, and it moved her to risk everything. She continued, "Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family, because I have shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them, and that you will save us from death." Joshua 2, 12-13. The spies agreed, "Our lives for your lives. If you don't tell what we are doing, we will treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us the land." Joshua 2:14. They gave her a condition. "Tie this scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down. Bring your father, mother, brothers, and all your family into your house. Anyone who goes out your door into the street will be responsible for their own death. We will not be responsible." Joshua 2, 18-19. The scarlet cord, bright red like blood, would mark her house for mercy amid judgment. Rahab let them down by a rope through her window. Since her house was on the wall, this led straight outside the city. She advised, "Go to the hills so the pursuers will not find you. Hide there 3 days until they return." Joshua 2:16. The spies escaped to the hills, hid for 3 days while the king's men searched fruitlessly, then crossed back over the Jordan to Joshua. They reported, "The Lord has surely given the whole land into our hands. All the people are melting in fear because of us." Joshua 2:24. Rahab's words confirmed God's promise. The spies' fear from the wilderness generation, Numbers 13, was gone. Faith had taken its place. Time passed. The Israelites crossed the Jordan miraculously on dry ground, Joshua 3-4. They circumcised the new generation, celebrated Passover, and ate the produce of the land. Then came the siege of Jericho. For 6 days the Israelite army marched silently around the city once each day, priests carrying the ark and blowing ram's horns. On the 7th day they marched 7 times. At Joshua's command, the people shouted, and the walls collapsed. The city fell. Everything in it was devoted to destruction except the silver, gold, bronze, and iron for God's treasury. But Joshua remembered the oath. He commanded the 2 spies, "Go into the prostitute's house and bring her out, along with all who belong to her." Joshua 6:22. They went in, brought out Rahab, her father, mother, brothers, and all her relatives, and set them outside the camp of Israel. Jericho burned, but Rahab's house, marked by the scarlet cord, stood as a testimony to mercy. Rahab's story didn't end there. She joined Israel, married Salmon, a leader from Judah, and became part of the lineage of David and ultimately Jesus Christ. Matthew 1:5, Hebrews 11:31, James 2:25. A Canaanite prostitute became a heroine of faith, showing that God's grace reaches the unlikely, the outsider, the sinner who turns to him in trust. This tale reminds us, faith isn't about perfection or pedigree. It's about recognizing God's power, risking everything to align with him, and receiving mercy in return. Rahab's scarlet cord points forward to the blood of Christ that marks believers for salvation amid judgment. If you believe in God, like, subscribe, and type, "I believe in God."